Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. It's a wonderful day. I am so thankful to God because this is another day that He has made, and I'm glad and I am rejoicing in this day. Point of view with Miss Shirley Polk. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and I am so grateful because I am able to come on and be able to talk to you and enjoy your comments with you talking with me. I am just so, so grateful. Dear God, as I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. Today we're going to talk about what to know about attention seeking behavior. And I want to know what's up with these people who always want to be the center of attention, who always want to be the first one to tell the news about whatever's going on, no matter whose business they get off into when want to spread the news, want everybody to know that they know what's going on, and then they get over into other people's business when other people should be informing their own family, close family about it. Then they are the ones that are running off somewhere trying to be the first ones to tell the news. Do you know anybody like that in your family? Do you know anybody like that, period, of your acquaintance? Do you know anybody like that? And what this is called is the attention seeking uh, behavior, attention seeking behavior. What's up? What's up? What's up with these people that want all of this? So we're going to delve off into that today. And I am just a little bit aggravated because I just found out that that happened a while ago in our family when we should have been telling and communicating directly, which we were, with each one of our siblings, and someone else decided to stick a nose in there and try to go ahead of everybody else and I'm aggravated about it. I really am. But I will get over it by the grace of God and just try to prevent that from happening again. And so we're going to find out how to deal with these kinds of people. What are they motivated by? What is going on in their minds that make them want to be like this? Always wanting to get the attention, always wanting to be noticed, which is getting attention, always wanting to be the first in this, always have their nose stuck in somebody else's business. So I want to talk about this today. So, what to know about attention seeking behavior? And I'm in very well mind today. I'm in very well mind today, talking about attention seeking behavior. And some people just can't keep their noses out of other folks' business. And they always, even if they're associated with what's going on and the people that is going on around, you should know what your order in the family is or your order in the relationship is to know when it's not time for you to open your mouth. So, what to know about attention seeking behavior? We're in very well mind. And this article is by Wendy Wisner, and it was updated on the 28th of February in the year 2023. And it's also reviewed by Rachel Goldman, PhD in FTOS. And so we're going on, and I did look at FTOS, and that's a psychological or psychiatric part of training for police departments and law enforcement. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this. And I want to say tomorrow we'll be funeralizing our last uncle on he's daddy's last sibling. He's the last one of them, of Rose and Sam Polk's children. Uncle George Ivor Polk will be funeralizing him tomorrow in Fort Worth, Texas at the Greater Antioch Baptist Church on Cotley Street, and it's at 11 a.m. And I would admonish you, if you're going to attend, to be there on time. He will be viewed until they close the casket just before the funeral. So it'll be 10, probably until 10:45 a.m. in the morning on the 3rd of July, 2024. So we'll be funeralizing and honoring Uncle Ivor tomorrow. And of course, I'm praying for my cousins. I'm praying for and with my cousins. And God willing, I'll be there with them tomorrow. Table of contents on this. What are we talking about? We're talking about what to know about seeking disorder. What to know, and this is in very well mind. And I'm going on. I am live today. I had planned not to be live today because I'm supposed to be taking a week off, but I am going on. And what our table of contents is here is what is attention seeking disorder, then examples, then underlying causes, and then coping, and then frequently asked questions. So we're going to go on through this. Thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate you being with me today. So attention seeking disorder is everywhere, and almost all of us have witnessed it at one time or another. That attention seeking disorder is something else, and you'll see and hear exactly what I meant. Okay, you might be familiar with the friend who seems to have way too much time on social media, constantly bragging with a seemingly endless need for personal validation. Or you may have seen the child who has a meltdown while waiting in line at the grocery store, falling on the floor and kicking their legs. The behaviors of people who seem to be seeking undue amounts of attention are apt to make us uncomfortable, right? Irritated, right? And embarrassed, right? At times, okay? They are exactly the kinds of behaviors that seem poised to push our buttons. And by golly gee, they can push some buttons, can't they? Hi, thank you so much for being with me today. I appreciate you being with me. The question is, when is attention seeking behavior something we can simply try to ignore, and when it is a problem that might need to be addressed in a more serious way? So we're going to read on for what attention seeking this behavior is and what causes it, when it might be indicative of a serious health disorder, and how to cope when you or someone in your life is exhibiting this behavior. And then in this article also, which is in Very Well Mind, you can go and you can click on these other pieces that can tell you a list of psychological disorders and different things like that. But we're going to go on what is attention seeking behavior. We're going to talk about that because it's very important to know what we're talking about when we say this. So it is a human instinct to want to be noticed, taken seriously, and loved. So, in a certain way, attention seeking behaviors come from a place that most of us can understand. The problem is that when attention seeking behaviors are motivated by a feeling of low self esteem, jealousy, loneliness, or because of a psychiatric condition, so in these instances, the behavior can come across as extreme or hysterical. Yes, it can. And so I'm understanding this, and I see where it comes from now. And then it is aggravating. It is angering at some times. But this particular thing that I found out yesterday, and it's not eating at me, but I'm aggravated about it because I know that this happens with a certain one. And this time, that certain one, as usual, crossed the line. And it's not good and continues to cross the line, continues to cross the line. Moreover, attention seeking behavior that happens frequently is manipulative, right? Passive aggressive, right? Or severe, can push people away, strain relationships, or ruin them altogether. And that is so. At times, severe attention seeking behavior, especially when caused by a mental health issue or a personality disorder, can make it difficult for someone to stay employed or be a functioning member of society. And I saw and I understood what was going on. There, and it came to my mind. The two words came to my mind, which I guess you would call it a phrase, this morning: virtual hit. Do you know that people put virtual hits out on people? And we see it many times on social media. They put virtual hits on people. They destroy people's reputations, say things that cause people to turn against people. We see that almost every single day. People put out virtual hits on people. And I was thinking as I was the situations going over in my mind, and I'm thinking about this topic that I'm talking about today, which God always gives me what to talk about. And just as I stated into my uh, device, whether it's my phone, whether it's my what is it? This I'm using today, my tablet or my phone, which I'm using both of those today. Um, and these things, whatever I say, they come up just like I quote them to the machine, to the device, and these uh, great great articles come up, and I'm able to share them with you. And I am so thankful about that. I am so thankful. So, what does attention seeking behavior look like? And I think talking about a virtual hit, I was thinking some time ago, and I see now that people vie for attention, they compete for attention. And so they put a hit out on another person. It doesn't have to be a physical hit, but it could be slander, virtual on the internet, on the World Wide Web. It could be by word of mouth, by gossip, and all of that. But people put hits out on people, and I found out that in this situation, when a person was complaining about another person doing a certain thing, then caused someone else to threaten that person about doing something, then found out that when that person stopped doing it, that gave that person who put the hit out on that other person room to do it. And with virtually that other person's competition was no longer there. This jealousy and this hunger for power, hunger for attention is a dangerous, dangerous thing. And not just one person is involved, many people are involved in this because many people have been included in this by other people not minding their own business. Okay? So, what does attention seeking behavior look like? There are many ways that attention seeking behaviors can present themselves. Sometimes the behavior is overt, such as when someone makes a confrontational comment. Sometimes the behaviors are more subtle, such as someone who seems to be constantly fishing for compliments. And oh my goodness. And have you ever had a conversation with a person that tells you something and they say so much and you can feel them waiting for you to ask them for more information? Have you ever been in a conversation like that, and then after you don't buy into it, or you don't what they let them get you on that hook, uh, then they'll come out and say, well, this, and then if you decide to test them, and say, well, who? Oh, I can't tell. I can't tell. No, I don't want to tell. All that kind of stuff. Have you ever been in a conversation? I guess you said she is on a roll today. But this is life. These things happen in life. They happen every single day. As a matter of fact, I believe they happen every minute of the day. There is somebody out there who has this attention seeking behavior. So, what does attention seeking behavior look like? There are many ways that attention seeking behaviors, and I just read this, but I'm going to read it again. There are many ways that attention seeking behaviors can present themselves. Sometimes the behavior is overt, such as when someone makes a confrontational comment. Sometimes the behaviors are more subtle, such as someone who seems to be constantly fishing for compliments. And another thing, have you been in a conversation with a person? And so you're talking and you might initiate a subject and you're trying to talk about it, and then that other person takes over the subject and the conversation, and they dominate the conversation, trying to let you know that they know so much about what you were trying to talk about that you didn't get to finish talking about because they took over the conversation. And then when you try to get a word in, you can't get a word in have to say. Have you ever been in a conversation like that? Well, that falls into this category right here: attention seeking behavior. And this is what it looks like when someone seems to be constantly fishing for compliments. Examples of attention seeking behavior: posting excessively on social media, seeming to vie for as many likes and comments as possible. Next, making comments both online and in person that seem calculated to make people feel uncomfortable or cross social boundaries. Bragging constantly about material wealth, physical appearances, and personal successes. Next, seeming to act as though everything that happens to you is a catastrophe, even when it is not. Next, engaging in provocative, promiscuous, or exhibitionistic behavior. Next, seeming to always want to be the center of attention. Do you know anybody like that? Making frequent self deprecating comments in an effort to be validated. Having what might be described as a dramatic personality. Oh, yes. So, those are some examples of attention seeking behavior. Now, here's some causes according to Very Well Mind, according to this author. Here, causes of attention seeking behavior. And I agree with these, and there's some more I can add too. And I'm sure you can too, because you have been victimized by someone with it. And hopefully, it hasn't been you victimizing someone else, and it hasn't been me victimizing someone else. But I try my best to watch myself and not impose on other people. I try to stay in my own lane and mind my own business, because there's this song that I have. What is it? 12, what is it? 12, 24 hours to mind my own business and 24 hours to leave yours alone. Or is it 12 hours to mind my own business and 12 hours to leave yours alone? It might be the 24, but there is, I think it's a blues song. So that's where I am. I don't have time to mind other folks' business. Now I do. I am a counselor. I do listen, and if I have advice to give, if it's asked for, I will give it. And that is one of my roles in society as a counselor. Okay? So, but as far as sticking my nose where it's not supposed to be, I try to keep my nose where it's supposed to be, on my face, and taking care of my breathing and everything else that I need to do to sustain my life. Okay? Causes of attention seeking behavior. There are a couple of reasons why someone might be having attention seeking behaviors. The most common reason why someone might exhibit these behaviors is that they are experiencing, and this is one, usually the number one cause, experiencing low self esteem. Okay? Low self esteem often can look like someone who is down on themselves and who is struggling with depression, but sometimes low self esteem is having a negative view of oneself can lead to aggressive, antisocial, attention seeking, and even delinquent behaviors. Okay? But sometimes low self esteem or having a negative view of oneself can lead to aggressive, antisocial, attention seeking, and even delinquent behaviors. Oh, yes. So, other emotional states that might lead to attention seeking behaviors include what they have, want to know what position they hold, want to know you, I do this and I do that and this and that, and just brag, 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 brag. Won't give other people a chance to do something. I'm telling you, it's just something else. So these lessons, these topics and things come to help all of us, me, myself, and I too. And I thank God because I'm able to get the help that I need when I need it when I need it, when I need it. Other emotional states that might lead to attention seeking behaviors include loneliness and jealousy. And many times, this is where our compassion comes in because some people they cannot pinpoint and they don't even know that they are being obsessive and have this behavior. They don't know what's happening. And they just go from day to day doing this thing. Jealousy. Jealousy is behind it. Envy is behind it. Loneliness is behind it. Low self-esteem is behind it, but they don't know. They're just acting like they act, trying to continue to get that attention, trying to be better than everybody else, trying to know more than everybody else, trying to be the first to do everything, even if it's all digging off all into somebody else's space and where they're supposed to be and where they are not supposed to be. Other emotional states of talking about the jealousy, for example, people who are experiencing increasing loneliness as well as social anxiety might turn to social media for validation and then end up exhibiting attention seeking disorder in their online interactions with others. Now, next subtopic here is attention seeking behavior normal? Is it normal? Again, to some extent, we are all wired to want attention. Yes, we are, and validation. And so it's important to understand that some attention seeking behavior can be thought of as an understandable need for validation or a cry for help. So that's why it's so good that we can listen to programs like this for people who study these for us, who research this for us, so we can sometimes there's a what we say a virtual bulb that comes on over our mind and says, "That's it. That's why I feel like that." So, I see that. Or that's what's going on over there. Now I understand. And so now I'm going to listen some more so I can learn how to deal with it. And then in my own time, I'll go and study some more of it for myself. Isn't this amazing? So, is attention seeking behavior ever normal? For example, most attention seeking behaviors in children, especially young children, shouldn't be thought of as unhealthy or manipulative. Some of these behaviors are developmentally inappropriate. They are developmentally appropriate as children are often testing boundaries to understand what appropriate behavior looks like. And you know, when we were young, we tested boundaries, and some of those still testing boundaries. So, anyway, acting like children. All right. Other times, children who act out are really saying that they need help from their parents. And then sometimes they need help from their parents. And then sometimes they need help from their parents. Because some of these parents are abusive to these children. So they might need help getting away from their parents. So that could be, to me, have two meanings, okay? Or may need psychological help. Some attention seeking behavior in children may be related to an impulse control or conduct control disorder, such as oppositional defiant disorder or conduct disorder. Our next sub here is attention seeking behavior part of a mental illness? A person who has persistent, extreme, or disturbing attention seeking behaviors might be experiencing a mental health disorder, or maybe someone who has a personality disorder. Some possibilities include histor- hist- histrionic, histrionic personality disorder. See, we're learning so much today, aren't we? Histrionic personality disorder is a personality disorder that's part of a cluster of personality disorders called dramatic personality disorders. One of the primary features of histrionic personality disorder is attention seeking behavior. Now, in addition, someone who has this disorder may display some of the following characteristics. Listen closely, if you will. The first one is a dramatic or theatrical personality. Next, always craves the spotlight and needs to be the center of attention. Next, makes impulsive decisions. Next, is fixated on physical appearance. The next one is lacks empathy and doesn't really show care for others. Next is moody and emotional. Next gets uncomfortable when attention is shifted away from them. By golly, gee, you know about that, don't you? Has a short attention span and is easily bored. Needs constant stimulation and validation. Yes. May be unable to maintain meaningful relationships. Next, borderline personality disorder. And the acronym for that is BPD. Borderline personality disorder is another one of the dramatic personality disorders that is characterized by a need for attention and validation. Someone with BPD may be moody and experience low self esteem. It can be difficult for them to control their behavior and maintain healthy relationships. Thank you so much for being with me today. I will get back to your comments and howdy, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Other signs of BPD include a chronic fear of abandonment, feeling as though everyone is out to get you. Next, unstable relationships, constantly changing perceptions of who you can trust and who you can't. Next, very low self image and self esteem. Next, impulsive and destructive behavior, including spending sprees, reckless sexual behavior, and unsafe driving. Next, self harm and suicidal ideation. Next, intense bursts of anger and lashing out. So, other mental disorders are there are several of them. Uh, Several other behavioral and mental health disorders that have attention-seeking behavior as a characteristic, and these include bipolar disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, and intermittent explosive disorder. So, how do we cope with attention seeking behavior? If someone in your life is showing an uptick in attention seeking behavior, feeling upset or turned off is a normal reaction. However, usually people who are exhibiting these behaviors are coming from a place of suffering or experiencing a mental health disturbance. So, if possible, the best way to talk to someone who is exhibiting these behaviors is to come from a place of compassion. And that is so true. Do the best you can to be compassionate, try to get their attention, especially if they're in your business, okay? So remember, often someone who seems to need constant attention is actually experiencing low self esteem. Try to tell the person matter of factly what you're observing and ask what you can do to help. Ask them what they might be struggling with and tell them that they are loved and supported. Often, simply having someone in their life who cares is enough for the person to feel better and decrease some of their attention seeking behaviors. If a person is experiencing depression or maybe struggling with something like bipolar disorder, having a friend to talk to might not be enough. In this case, helping your loved one understand that psychological help may be necessary and helping them find it. Okay, I'm back now. All right. Unfortunately, treating personality disorders is more complicated because these are considered lifelong disorders and people don't really want to, some just don't want to admit that they have these disorders, and that's the sad part. So if you are the person who is exhibiting attention seeking behavior and you are wondering what to do, just realizing that something is amiss is a wonderful first step. Many people with the behavior are, are reluctant to admit they are acting inappropriately and may not seek help. Therapy or counseling is a great place to start if you are seeking help with this behavior or for this behavior. Importantly, if you're experiencing about a very low self esteem, or if you're experiencing self harm or thoughts of suicide, this is an emergency situation and you should seek help. And what do? Call 911. Now, if you or someone you care, if you or someone you care about is having suicidal thoughts, contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988. You can dial 988 for support and assistance from a trained counselor. If you or a loved one are in immediate danger, call 911. For more mental health resources, see our National Helpline database. So, a word from Very Well Mind. Most of us look at attention seeking behavior in a negative light, but that's because we are focused on the behavior rather than what is motivating the behavior. When looking at attention seeking behavior through the right lens, we may realize that it's often a call for help or a manifestation of a mental health issue. Either way, it can be helpful not to take the behavior too personally and to try to take a more compassionate, helpful tone when interacting with someone who is exhibiting this behavior. That being said, if someone is unwilling to change their behavior, seek help for it, or if this behavior is harming you in some way, it's not something you need to put up with. And I agree with that, don't you? Your mental health is is important too. Your mental health is important too. So if you or a person in your life is showing signs of self harm or suicidal ideation, even if it seems to be a part of a need for extra attention, you should always take this seriously. Help is available and emergency care is warranted. So here's some frequently asked questions, and if my tablet holds out. My battery is getting low, but I think I can make it. Frequently asked questions. What are the symptoms of attention seeking disorder? His histrionic personality disorder is often associated with attention seeking behaviors, which can include moodiness, emotionality, constant need for stimulation, unstable relationships, and theatrical personality. Next question. What type of person is an attention seeker? An attention seeker may have a personality disorder such as histrionic personality disorder or borderline personality disorder. However, attention seeking behavior can also be associated with other causes, including poor self esteem, narcissism, and loneliness. And so we have to take all of this into consideration, okay? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Is attention seeking behavior an ADHD characteristic? Attention seeking disorder is often associated with ADHD, attention deficit disorder. Okay. So, attention seeking is often associated with ADHD, although often misunderstood. ADHD characteristics such as impulsivity, inattention, and hyperactivity can lead to behaviors that are frequently misinterpreted as attention seeking. Oh my goodness. Why, this is it. This is it. And I am so happy that you joined me today on this day, the 2nd of July in the year 2024. And we're in very well mind. And we're talking about the people that seek attention. They want to be the first in everything to the point that it's unhealthy for them and it's very aggravating and it encroaches other people's business. It interferes with other people's business, and they just don't care. Just as long as they can get their word in, and they can have what they want. As a matter of fact, being number one in so many things that they don't even have a business part in. So I hope you'll enjoy your day, the rest of your day. I love you so much, and I thank you so much for being with me today. Now, what do you know about attention seeking disorder? We know quite a lot about it today, don't we? We were at verywellmind.com. I love you so much, and I hope you'll enjoy the remainder of your day. You are wonderful, and I am so thankful for you. This is Point of View with Miss Shirley Polk, and I will be have a article on what's it the 4th of July at 1 o'clock. And if you don't see it at 1, you'll be able to see it at any other time. And I mentioned the other day that I have over 1,000 videos on my YouTube page. I don't know how many I have on Facebook and the other pages, but on my YouTube page, I have over 1,000 videos, and those are self help videos. They are my music, they are my video autobiography is so much, and I am so thankful to God that He has blessed me to get over 1,000. I wasn't aiming for that. I'm just doing what I like to do and doing what God has told me to do. I love you so much. Enjoy the remainder of your day, and please contact me at any time. And then I ask you, if you will, please share my videos. I love you.